Hey there, Sart here. So we've got some new unit exclusive weekly trial events. I really hate these. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I hate these unit exclusive things. You know, I love being able to take the units that I want to take into these. You know, I especially anything that keeps me from using my girls Esther and Sylvie really just ticks me off. So. You know, I'm just going to put that out there. These these unit exclusive trials suck. I hate them. But anyways, this one is Advent of the Emperor. So this is for Dark Reign's Silver Crowns. So if you have a Dark Reign, you know, that's great. I don't have one. I still have yet to pull a Dark Reign. It kills me. But I went ahead and did it anyways. So I have the Silver Crowns, and if I ever do finally pull a Dark Reign, I'll be able to crown him. But anyways, as you can see, I've already cleared these out. I'll show you how I do it. I'm going to show you the quick way, and the quick way does require strong units. You know, there is a slow way. You can just sort of turtle the fight to get it finished. Because really the big thing that you want, obviously you want to complete the quest, and you want to do it without any continues so that you can get that ability unlocked for Dark Reign. And what that ability is that is the 150% Dark Amplify to himself, similar to Sephiroth's Silver Crowns. That's how you unlocked Sephiroth's 150% Dark Amp. Same thing for Dark Reign, so you definitely want that. You know, the Emperor Gigantors and the STR removals, they're great if you can get them, but if you don't have really strong units, you may just have to miss out on those rewards this time and just kind of turtle through the fight using re-raise. And you know, that's perfectly acceptable to do that because really you just want that 150% Dark Amp from Dark Reign. But I'm going to show you how to do it the quick way because I don't want this video to be like a 20 to 30 turn video, take like, you know, 40 minutes. That would just be obnoxious. So I'm going to show you how I did it and all missions clear. Here's the team that I use. And I think as long as you have either a really strong Knights of Grandshelt or a really strong Dark Reign, or of course, obviously, if you have like the new Dioxys Dio, I'm just going to call him Dio. If you have Dio, obviously he trivializes this fight because he's extremely strong and brings the 500% leader skills. I obviously don't have a Dio, but I do have the return, Nichol the return, and he got a leader skill. So you see it's active there. All right, I'll show you just a real quick. So obviously, you know, you set somebody as a leader. Now you see the leader skill has been deactivated because Raegan does not have one. Knights of Grandshelt was apparently supposed to get one, but as you can see, even he doesn't have a leader skill, neither does Fina, okay? But Nichol did get one, all right? Now it's only 100%, you can see it's really, really tiny there on the screen, boost attack and mag by 100% for anniversary JP category units, and that includes like Knights of Grandshelt and all of that. And you can see this now in the stats field, so you can see leader skill there, you can see a little bit better. Boost attack and mag by 100% for anniversary JP category units. All right, which includes Knights of Grandshelt and Dark Reign. So they get that 100% attack and mag buff. And that's the only reason why I'm bringing Nichol to this fight. You could also bring, I believe, Sakura. I'm just going to favorite this real quick because I'm going to see, I believe, let me check. I believe Sakura also. Yeah, Sakura the return. She should also have, yep, she does. She has also the same one, boost attack and mag by 100% for anniversary JP category units. So if you have her, you can also bring her. Doesn't even have to be, she can be an EX0. Same goes for Nichol. They can be EX0, and you will still get that active leader skill from both of them. All right, but I'm going to swap back to Nichol here. Oh, I misspelled that. Okay. Just because I had him geared for the fight and ready to go. All right, so here's the team. I'll go over the gear real quick. So Hallett Aegis Charlotte is a 7-star unit. You can UOC her, no problem. Very easy to acquire. She will be our tank for this fight, as well as our entrust unit to Knights of Grandshell. So here's the gear that I've given her. You want to give her a reasonable amount of bulk, mostly for turn 3. Because there's, unfortunately, not only did they want to make this super fun by limiting it to such a select pool of units, but they also wanted to throw some RNG into the fight by making the boss do random attacks on turn 3. And I have figured out how to keep Charlotte alive for 1 atomic ray, but not for 2. So as long as the boss doesn't do 2 atomic rays on turn 3, we should be good to go. Now the key thing is here, she needs to have at least 130% light resist, because we have Nichol providing a 70% light buff. So just make sure she's at least 130% light resistant. And then also give her some LB fill, because she's going to be entrusting over to Knights of Grandshell. So you want to make sure she has lots of LB fill for doing that on turn 2. So that's why she has Call of the Wild. And then try to bulk her up as much as you can. If you really need to, you could give her a vision card to bulk her up even more, but it's not really necessary, and I would not recommend doing that just for this fight. All right. Raegan, as you can see, I've given him great swords because we're working with a great sword in peril on this fight. So I did give him great swords, and he can now get 400% true dual wield. So that's what the 2 Warlord leg guards are there for, to get him up to 400%. And then you see I gave him some killers. There's an empty slot there, I think, because he's already maxed on Demon and, what is this, a Demon Dragon? Yeah, so he's got 300% Demon Dragon ready to go. And just gave him Esther's, you don't have to give him Esther's vision card, I wanted to have my girl in here somewhere. So yeah, so there she is. And yeah, good to go. He's not going to deal like appreciable damage, but you know, he's not a slacker by any means. So Knights of Grandshell. So obviously I gave him all my best gear here. You see he's got over 10,000 attack. That is because of the leader skill from Nichol. Otherwise it would be just under 10,000, be like 90, it'd be like 9,800 or something like that. So he gets like 400 more attack from the leader skill, which, you know, every little bit helps, right? Now, for this clear, if you have an EX3 Knights of Grandshell, but you don't have Nichol for the leader skill, don't worry. The leader skill is not necessary if your Knights of Grandshell is strong enough. But if your Knight of Grandshell is only maybe EX2 and isn't quite as strong, then that leader skill could come in handy if you want to follow this strategy. Now, is all of this Cal gear necessary? Probably not. We do a fair bit of overkill on the boss. So there definitely is some room if your unit's not as strong. Just make sure he's capped on his killers, 300 Demon, 300 Dragon. Oh, he's actually 25% shy on the Dragon. Can I fix that? Yeah, that's hilarious. I didn't even gear him for full killers, did I? Because it's a Demon Dragon. I think I thought because it was a machine earlier, and then I just never came back around to, we'll just do this one. So now he should be capped. Just cap him on Dragon and Demon. Good to go. His own vision card. If you don't have his vision card, just use the best one you have in that slot to make sure he's capped on everything. All right, same build in his Brave Shift form. And that's basically what we're going to be doing. We're spending the whole time in his Brave Shift form because we're going to finish this fight by turn 4. Okay. Oh, let me just, double check, make sure. Yep, capped on everything. Excellent. Okay. All right, so Fina, really the most important thing is just to make sure she is 100% evade. That way she doesn't take any damage from the physical attacks on turn 1. That's pretty important. We'll use 1,000 Needles for Mirage for turn 2, but turn 1, she's just so squishy. She just kept dying from the physical attack, so I just made her 100% evade to take care of that issue. Your Fina does not have to be EX2, it's more convenient that way. She does have a light imbue. You know, she's got this ability. It has a worse light amp, unfortunately, but you know, you can use that to amp to amp the party. The big hit comes on turn 4, obviously, and for that one, Knights of Grandshelt has his own 50% light amp, so you don't really have to have an EX2 Fina. Just makes things more convenient. All right. Nichol is, he's wearing Obsidian Bracer for the brakes, also 100% physical evasion, so whatever gear you have to make him 100% evasion, the rest of the gear is irrelevant. I gave him Leave Things to Me just so we have a slightly higher Greatsword Imperil for the first 2 turns. When we get to turn 4, Knights of Grandshelt will do a bigger Greatsword Imperil anyways. Actually, I think his Brace Shifted LB does a bigger Greatsword Imperil already, doesn't it? Yeah, so actually that's not necessary. You could take that out. Never mind. I'm not even sure why I put that in there now that I think about it. I did give him Broom because this has a light elemental triple bolting strike chaining ability attached to it called Halo. This just helps ramp up the chain a little bit faster. It's absolutely not necessary. You can use his, Crashing Waterfall to do triple bolting strike, and then just give Raegan a water elemental sword, so that way your chain gets up. Because really, Knights of Grandshelt is the one doing all the damage here, let's be honest. You just want that chain to ramp up really, really quickly. Okay, so there's some options there for you. All right, so let's see how this works. Let's get in here. Hopefully we don't get 2 atomic rays on turn 3, or else I'm gonna have to start this recording over. All right, so first thing, Charlotte will use her mag cover. All right, this will unlock her her double cast as well, which is very useful. Fina will just do her LB. If you don't have EX2 Fina, just have her use her other light amp ability that's innate in her kit. We're gonna go ahead and do an LB here on this turn. Raegan does his LB, which has the brakes on it. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and hit the boss now and do some damage right up front. Okay, pretty good chunk of damage to get started. All right, AoE physicals, you can handle those no problem. All right, and Charlotte handles the magic damage no problem. Alright, so the boss has put up some Mirage, but don't worry, that's where the 10,000 Needles comes in. Just go ahead and hit the boss with that. Mirage is gone. On this turn, Charlotte is going to... we will do Knight Captain's Dignity on Rain, or on Knights of Grandshelt, I should say. And that will fill up his LB. And then you can do... you can do really any of these abilities, huh? Let's just heal her up to make sure she's at full health. Alright, because this turn it should be light elemental magic damage, which she will resist, and then the AoE physical, which we will Mirage. Okay, and now we can basically just rinse and repeat, except Raegan will have to triple cast Dawn's Edge. Okay, and yeah, we're just going to do exactly what we did last turn. All right. All right, so you can see we're clearly doing way more damage than we need to do here. So yeah, we're doing just fine. So even if your Knights of Grandshelt was only EX2, not nearly as strong as mine, you should be able to follow this reasonably well. Okay, so now we've been dispelled, no big deal. Before we do anything else, Fina is going to do Delightful Glow, Brilliant Veil, and Dispelga. Okay, and the reason why is the boss has put up attack and mag buffs, and this is what will tend to kill your Charlotte if you don't get rid of those. But you need to make sure Fina does that before you do anything else, because this is kind of a setup turn anyway, so we don't care if the boss gets dispelled. All right, now we're going to do magic cover. Make sure you do the magic one. And then magic, Sacred Knight's Defense magic for the magic mitigation. Okay. All right, Nichol is going to do Divine Castle's Protection for the light resist buff. Raegan is going to do all of his sort of setup skills, including his bigger breaks to get ready for next turn. All right, KoG will do his cooldown, Give It All We've Got, which does his LB buff and his 50% light amp, and then Shining Breakdown for the light imperil. Not that it matters, because Raegan is going to imperil light anyways. Oh, and of course, he did 2 atomic rays. So, as you can see, she survived 1. She survived the first one just fine. So, if that happens to you, if you get 2 atomic rays, just quit the fight and come back and do it again. The boss will either do 2 atomic rays, or he'll do 1 atomic ray, or he'll do 1 atomic ray and 1 shining, shimmering light, or whatever it's called, which is a light elemental attack, which she should resist. So if he either does 1 atomic ray or the 1 atomic ray with the shining light, you're fine. If he does 2 atomic rays, then you're going to miss out on the no KOs mission. That's okay. You just come back, run it again. Hopefully the boss RNG rolls in your favor. I'm going to go ahead and finish out the fight. I'm not going to cancel because I've already gone this far. I'll just show you how we go ahead and finish the boss at this point. All right, Nichol will again do Halo. Raegan does his SLB. All right, Charlotte doesn't have to do anything on this turn. All right, and we are good to go. All right, let's do it. And there you go. All right, so yeah, like I said, these trials are so stupid. I'm like, it's one thing to make it unit locked, but then to throw RNG into the mix to really just screw with you, it just really irritates me. But there you go. See, Knights of Grandsheld carried the fight easily by himself. I think the boss has 15 billion HP, I want to say. Something like that. So anyways, we did 18 billion overall, so 3 billion of overkill. All right, so yeah, there's some room there. There's some room there if your units aren't quite as strong. I think an EX2 Knights of Grandsheld should be able to take care of this one without issue. All right, obviously if you have a Dark Rain, bring him as well if you want, and deal a little bit extra damage. But yeah, that's how I got this one done. Hopefully this helps you guys, and yeah, not much else going on this week. I do have another Clash of Wills clear team in mind that I'm gonna be working on over the next week. I don't have any plans to do anything with leader skills, obviously, because I don't have a Bara, I don't have Dio, so I won't be able to do any kind of Clash of Wills clears with leader skills. But I do have another fun clear that I'm going to be working on, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully it all works out, and if it does, you guys will see a video on that sometime next week. So thank you guys for following me, and I'll see you on the other side.